Attention listener, the following broadcast has been created for entertainment and comedy purposes. If you do not find it funny or entertaining, just don't listen. LOL. Nobody is forcing you.
Welcome to the Absolute Nonsense Podcast, Perth's 81st best podcast. If this is your first time joining us, my name is T, your favorite pineapple. Even though today I'm not looking like a pineapple. Oh no, kinda. I think my hair's kinda coming out. I might actually.
Is that why you're wearing the Rude Hullet t-shirt? Because he had his hair like that?
Nah.
No. Did you know he had his hair like that? Because he doesn't have it in there.
Nah.
No,
I've only known him like this. I'm actually just wearing this because I like wearing local brands and local.
Oh, is that
people.
a local?
Yeah, the kid dealer. He's a kid from Perth, who he started off just selling retro kits, and now he has his own shop in the city and everything. It was in the newspaper the other day, because he's doing so well. But these are his own brand now, so
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, this is the second time I've worn one of his shirts. But we move. We love you, Rob. That's his name. Yes, yeah. It's like I said, if it's your first time joining us, my name's T. You've heard the voice. And if once I say his name, it's gonna get some people excited, and it's gonna get some people clicking on the Spotify, because you can't see his face. You just see the name. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a comedian from England standing at, I didn't check out your height before, I'm going to go with 5'9".
6 on the nose.
6 on the nose?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. We're the same height, kind of.
Yeah.
Unless I'm slightly taller. I don't know. If I straighten my back, maybe I'll be...
I do slouch a little bit.
You do slouch? Yeah, same, yeah. My brother yells at me all the time about it. But... we move. He is a comedian, writer, has worked on shows like the Trailer Park Boys and The Project, which is all I could get off the internet, because every time I typed in your name, I got the other David Hughes.
Yeah, I think the only way to get me, because I've never been on TV, everything is behind.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
So it's either David or, like, if you do David 8 Hughes, like
because
that's
Instagram,
my social stuff.
I think to find your stuff eventually, I had to go like David Hughes, and I did UK or something, or England.
I never Google myself.
You never Google yourself? No. Well, yeah, obviously you're not self-centered like the rest of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say his name again. It's David Hughes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
As I say to everybody, let's get straight into it's not really a hot seat. It's more like a lukewarm seat.
I know, we've been sat here for a while now. So mine's warm, yeah.
Well, let's get into the warm seat questions. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I've never done karaoke in my life.
Grow up.
No, I've never done it.
Grow up. Grow up, mate.
I can't sing, so I think part of it is I don't want to inflict that kind of pain on people. But I've just never done karaoke, ever.
If you drink hard enough.
I don't drink.
I see your first problem there.
Yeah.
We can get there. If you enjoy yourself enough, I'll just put some music on and we can sing together.
But are you a karaoke goer? Like, is that
I love karaoke.
Yeah. But no alcohol, would you do it? Because I can't imagine. Really?
Yeah, I think I don't care anymore. I went through some self-growth, and I just don't care what anyone thinks.
I went through some self-growth stuff, and now I'll do karaoke whenever. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you sing?
No.
Oh.
I can. To me, it sounds like I'm doing okay, and I think I can keep a tone, but I can't sing to the same as someone else singing.
Yeah, so I just sound like you just call paramedics if I was singing. Yeah, I'm terrible. Can't sing for shit.
Somebody help him! If you could transform into any inanimate object, what would you transform into?
Maybe like a tree, but that's not really inanimate though, is it? A tree is an organism. Inanimate object.
If you think about it scientifically, they are alive.
A dead tree. I'll be a dead tree. I'll just be out in the middle of a field and no one can bother me.
What's that old saying? If a tree falls over in the forest,
I'd make so much noise. I would be bitching and screaming and oh man, I'd make so much noise if I fell over. Doesn't matter who's around.
No one's there.
Yeah, well, no one's there. I'd still scream.
You'd still
scream so much you would hear me. You'd think I was doing karaoke.
Please keep referencing everything I ask you to karaoke.
Easy.
I would just do it somehow. Just like take it back to it. See, because we're now in the season, and I see this happening now in every shop. I've added this question: have you set up any of your Christmas decorations yet?
No, other than the karaoke machine, we have no. No, but
That
you
was
know
brilliant.
what? My neighbor has got the Christmas. Is it a wreath?
Yeah, yeah.
What's it called? Is it a wreath?
It's a reef, yeah.
So they've got that fucking thing on their door from like last year, and it's been driving me insane that now it's going to start being relevant again soon. But it drives me up the fucking wall.
You've left it too late. You can't even say anything now. You just be like, oh.
Well, I deliberately have stopped talking to them because of it. I hate it so much. I'm like, why the fuck would you leave that up all year?
And they just like, oh, thank God he's stopped coming over.
Or they've like, I don't know, like screwed or nailed it into the
Just-
door or something. They just can't get it off. That would be funny too. But no, I haven't put any. Have you? Do you?
No.
Will you Christmas the house up now that you've got a kid?
Yeah, when she knows what Christmas is.
Yeah. I know it sounds horrible. We didn't get our kid Christmas presents for like 2 years.
For the first year of its life, because it doesn't.
Yeah, and the second year as well, because
Yeah.
he was so fucking stupid. Like he didn't know what was going on.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no point. So same thing as like, I'm a believer in the first birthday party for the child isn't a party for the baby.
That's
It's a
for us.
party for us going
Yeah.
like, we made it one year.
Yeah. We made it. It's still alive.
Yeah.
We're not in any real trouble.
Gotta celebrate
Yeah.
those type
Let's
of
have some
moments.
cake. Yeah, 100%.
Are you a cats or dogs guy?
I was never a cat person until my wife got a cat, and I love them so much.
I
I've
see
got a
that.
cat and a dog.
I see that all the time online. People go like, "Oh, this guy didn't want the cat, and now look at him. It's just
This cat, like, okay, so we got 2 cats. One of them's broken, whatever. It's got like a fucked up eye and all that shit. It's like, you were a waste of time, and it's ugly as shit. It looks like someone hit it over the head with a karaoke machine. I'm gonna keep doing that. But the good cat is like, he looks like a fucking lion. He's amazing,
Oh.
and he's bigger than my dog.
Oh,
Well, my
wait,
dog's
what's
a Jack
your dog?
Russell. It's
Yeah,
not,
okay.
it's not hard. But I mean, it's a big Jack. You know, it's just a big cat. I love him. And what I really love is that he'll just walk past the dog and just slap him, just like paws him across the face. And I love that. I was like, I love it. You're a bully, and I fucking love it.
And I'm here for it. Are you a north of the river person or south of the river person?
Now, I've been here for over 10 years.
Yeah.
I can't get anywhere without maps, as I just illustrated to you.
Yes.
Like I said, I text you today. I was like, I'm gonna have to leave at like lunchtime to find this fucking place. I can't get anywhere without maps, and also I don't know. Like, you know when people go like, "Oh, so and so's a shithole, and so and so's a really affluent suburb."
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You have
what's
no
what.
idea.
No idea. Even that north of the river, south of the river.
No idea.
I don't know what's like. People go, "Are you north or south?" I went, "I don't know. I live in Averley. Where's that?" Like,
Even I'm not even sure where Haverley is.
yeah, I don't know.
What's it next to?
It's next to the Swan Valley like wine region and Ellenbrook.
So you're very east.
So it's like
yes,
sandwiched
yes,
between.
yes. Yes, we almost bought a house there, but we didn't. 'Cause,
Where?
Like
In-
that area. So Averley,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Helensbrook,
Ellenbrook.
no, isn't it Donnybrook and isn't it Helensbrook?
Oh, yeah, I think there is actually. But again,
Henley
again,
Brook, sorry.
stupid. I don't
Henley.
fucking. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of these fucking places. All I know is where I live.
That's good. That's a good start. That's the most
That
important
is
thing.
important. But like, so when our child was like brand new, but well, however old you are when you go to daycare,
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to shit. I had to take him to daycare, but I would use maps to get there. It was like 5 minutes away, and you had to turn once, but I still needed. And there should be something in me that goes, "Go get your child back." This innate thing, but I was just like, better use my phone to get there and back. Fucking useless, man. Useless.
Well, at least you have a
So
car.
just north or south of the river for that question, in the river. Just put me in the river. I don't. I'm better off there.
What is the last song you played on your phone?
Should I check?
Yeah, go ahead. I do normally say check, but
I think I know what it will be.
I decided to stop giving brands free advertisement.
Yeah, it's the Barcello Sweets. It
Oh, true, you did.
So I told you,
It was
classical-
50-50, either
yeah.
classical or
was going to be
grime.
classical. I think the song before that was probably Gets.
What is your favorite cartoon character? Or who is, sorry?
So it's kind of obscure, but there was a show called Ugly Americans. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's a fucking great show. It got cancelled after like 3 seasons, and there was a zombie on there called Randall. I just fucking love him.
Randall the zombie?
Randall the zombie. He was so far. He was like he was not like he was the housemate to the main character.
Okay.
But he was just like a nightmare. He was like a full-on nightmare
To live with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And constantly trying to eat him and stuff. But he was voiced by that comedian Kurt Metzger. Is that his name? Kurt.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's his name. He's got a very unique voice. He's married to like Amy Schumer.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I didn't know Amy Schumer was even married.
Yeah, I may have made that up. I don't know. He's married to Amy Schumer, did I? Because now you're saying that, I'm like, I don't know, she's married. Anyway.
I'm not up to date with my Amy Schumer news.
Or Ugly Americans, apparently. Randall, he's the one.
Randall?
Yeah.
I will look it up. I do like new shows. Is it on like Netflix or something? Or is it just...
Nah, it's like, you know, like Couch Tuna, just like illegally streaming shit. That's the only place I've managed to find it. Look, I'm not saying you should do it illegally.
Allegedly.
I'm not saying you should do it illegally, but if there's nowhere else that's got it, I'm going to break the law for it. Yeah. Fuck them.
What's something you find uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable?
Being locked in a room with a random guy talking into a microphone.
Yeah, podcast guests that go silent when they're asked questions that they don't know the answers to. I get uncomfortable on stage. So whenever people are looking at me, and I know what you're thinking, but I know, but when I know that lots of people are looking at me, I get very uncomfortable. Even when I was telling someone about this the other day, because this is like one of the worst things that's ever happened. I was at the gym and there was these 2 girls that were looking at me, and then they started giggling, which obviously you're just like, oh, that's fucking awful. Yeah. And then about 10 minutes later, they decided to come over and say like, oh, we saw you at the Comedy Lounge. You're that comedian. I was like, okay. How would I know that? Like, I know that I am that person, but like, I'm not walking around going, oh, I'm the comedian that everyone sees. Like, so when that happens, and by the way, I don't get recognized. Like, that's not a thing that happens every day. It's just like, fuck, that was horrible. So whenever people, I don't like being the center of attention.
So why do you comedian?
Because I love comedy. Obviously, I started being a writer. That's where it came from. And then I got a bit jealous of writing for people and seeing them do it on like TV and stuff. And I was like, oh, I could probably do that. And then I really do enjoy it. But honestly, if you see me before a show, I'm a mess. I'm an absolute mess.
I'll come see you before the show. I'll be like, I'll see where you are, and then I'll like knock on the door and be like, hey.
Be in the green room. Hey, he's over there sweating.
He's like, he comes with 3
Or
shirts.
he's in the toilet.
He comes with throwing up.
Nah, other end. I empty my bowels before every show.
You're actually... I've got another English friend who does the same thing before we play futsal.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like clockwork. Every week he'll go out, take a shit, and then come back.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows.
And they're awful shits too, let me tell you. If he's like me, they're awful shits. Yeah. Don't let him in your house.
I think this is the first time we've ever spoken about shit on this podcast.
Would be me.
We've gotten this far in and we've never spoken about shit. Let's keep it going. And then the other end, what do you find satisfying or comfortable?
I'm a big fan of like a really good sounding karaoke machine. That's probably my... What do I find satisfying? I love doing something that I didn't want to do. Mm. So like...
Comedy.
Okay, but
going on stage.
No, but often I don't feel motivated to do stuff, but I do it anyway, and then I feel
good.
Yeah, I feel like okay, we've done that thing that you didn't want to do. Whether it was like writing a joke packet that I've been putting off, or going to the gym, or whatever it is. When you just go, I don't have any motivation to do this particular thing right now. Yeah. But then you do it, and then afterwards it's like, all right, that's fucking satisfying. I can be a smug little prick now. Like I feel, you know what I mean? I like that.
I've done something today.
Yeah.
If you had a time machine, when would you go?
If I had a time machine, I'd already have one. Think about it.
Deep it, bro.
Where would I go? I might go back to like 2000, like around 2000s.
So
that was when
your peak of life?
No, it was just in the year 2000. I was unhappy as hell actually, but in the year 2000, I just turned 18. Yeah. And I think it'd be really interesting and that's when phones had just started to like be a bit popular.
I was a baby.
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
But I would kind of like to see how we all were in that little pre-phone before they were good.
Before they were good,
yeah. Because I think that'd be interesting.
What do you mean by good? When they still like the Nokia 310?
Yeah, but you couldn't do anything other than text people and play a shit game on it. Like that was
what do you mean? Snake is elite.
All right,
Snake is on point.
Snake is ugly. You've got a PlayStation tattooed on your arm. Like, you of all people should appreciate games. You know, proper games.
Yeah, games are going great now.
Yeah.
But I can also appreciate the classics.
But you know how like now and not to sound like a dinosaur, but we are all addicted to our phones. Like everybody is and constantly on them.
Okay.
Like when I was in college, we weren't.
Yeah,
You know, they were just like, someone sent me a message. I'll open that in a couple of days. And then...
that's still me now. Like, if you text me, I'm not opening the text. But if you message me on something else, I will. But
I only have notifications on for text messages, Slack, and email. That's it.
What's Slack?
So, like a... What is it? It's like a...
What?
It's like an interface for like for writers groups that we... if I'm working on a show remotely, everything will go into that.
There's an app for everything.
There's an app for everything.
Is it like other people can access it? Is it live? So that you
Yeah,
can edit it at once? Okay.
Yeah, so they'll have like channels for like if we're say for example like it's one show and we're writing on like for one comedian or whatever, everything might go into that channel. Like all the pictures and notes will go into that one particular channel, and then we can all see it and we'll add to it. Nice. So I have to have notifications on for that, but
yeah, fair. That's your job, isn't it?
Yeah, but all social media stuff, none of it's on.
None of it's on. It's confusing since you respond pretty quickly.
Yeah, I check it.
I just don't need the notifications.
I just don't want the notifications popping up all the time. Yeah.
If you could swap places with any celebrity, who would it be?
The Rock.
That was quick.
Because I reckon he's a piece of shit.
I'm
You're
how convinced, yeah, someone's too good to be true.
Nah, it's not that he's too good to be true. He's too loud about how good he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's too like, I'm such a wonderful person. Let me donate a fucking truck to my stunt double and all this. I was like, nah, there's something you drown kittens in buckets. Like you beat up old people in the supermarket. I reckon there's a dark side to him, and I would like to be him for a day, and then if I can know if he's good or bad, and then if he is truly a good person, I'll drown the kittens myself, and then I'll expose him that way.
Take photos.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just go to like Walgreens or whatever it is they've got and just like smash an old person in the face, and yeah, it'd be great. Think of the headlines.
Ruin his career.
Yeah. Ruin his life. It'd be amazing. Sorry, Rock, if you're watching this, but
yeah, Rock is a big fan. Dwayne.
He will eventually.
I'm waiting for that message, that DM.
Can I come on and beat that guy up?
The Rock is here to beat up David Hughes.
I can take it. Fuck him.
If you could travel to any fictional universe from a book or movie, where would you go?
I don't know where it takes place, but you know, like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
Yeah, like maybe just not the Earth part. I would just because space exploration and all that stuff kind of interests me.
Is that the one with Jack Black? No,
I haven't seen the movies, but
okay.
Possibly.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, the book. Sorry, I haven't read a book in a very long time.
But something like that where I don't know, I feel like it's also kind of lighthearted, and there's probably no risk of me getting like fucked by an alien or something. I don't remember anyone in the Hitchhiker's Galaxy
getting fucked by an alien,
fisted by someone from Omicron person. That wasn't happening. So maybe something like that, just to be on a spaceship for a bit.
Are you the driver or the passenger?
Driver.
Did you make your bed this morning?
I did. Don't know if we can call it this morning, but I did make it. Yeah.
So like 2:00.
Nah, well, like my kid, like we wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll often just pick him up and just throw him on the bed and then just like elbow drop him until he bleeds a little bit. No, I don't. But like we do. We wrestle all the time. Yeah. So it doesn't matter who makes the bed. It's like it's getting fucked up again, like really quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of remake it in the afternoon once he's bored.
Do you let him win?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But
so you do kind of crush his confidence a little bit. Keep him humble.
I crush it more than I probably should.
Okay, so keep
because I don't want him to think like the laws of physics just wouldn't apply if I allowed him, to think that he could just like pick me up and throw me like fuck off. No, of course you can't. Look at you, you're tiny.
Is he a wrestling fan then?
No.
No, just
likes fighting
beating
me.
up, fighting you. Fair.
Well, he just likes it when I pick him up and like fling him up and stuff. Like we do that a lot. He just likes that, which I guess is going to be fun, isn't it?
You're like, I just want somebody to do that to me.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody could pick me up and comfortably throw me up into like a, like do like a 360 and then land on a soft mattress or whatever, that'd be fun. I'll take that.
And a well-made bed that I made 10
Maybe
minutes,
that's why I want to meet The Rock, actually.
Prior. So he can throw you.
Yeah, so he can just go.
You're like,
I don't know where that sound came from. I'm sorry. Why I had to be the effeminate one as well.
Oh, throw me rock. What is your death row meal?
Do you know what? Probably just like a triple cheeseburger, but one that's like bigger than my head or something. So it's hard. Because also I want it to take a long time to eat, so they can't just kill. Like they have to wait, right?
Oh, I don't think they kill you straight away. I think don't you get like the day before or the
I have
morning,
no idea.
of?
It's been ages since I was on death row, so I don't know the logistics of it. But
yeah, times have changed. Yeah.
But also, I'd like to think that if I ate, especially if it's like a McDonald's type of cheeseburger, right? Because that would just go through me.
And just shit
so like
everywhere.
if they then, I don't know how they, but if they electrocuted me or whatever, like I would just fucking empty my bowels all over, and they'd have to deal with that. That's quite satisfying to think that after they've killed you, they've got to clean so much shit up.
And you already do naturally just relieve yourself when you're.
Is that actually true, or is that a?
No, it's true. We were in Zimbabwe, and when I was like, I don't know, 15, 14, I think. I don't know when it was. We had to kill. Well, we didn't have to. We were hungry.
Had to kill a neighbor.
So we killed a goat, and it legitimately did shit and just piss as soon as.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just relieved itself.
I shot a cow when I worked on a farm. No reason, I just wanted to. Anyway, next question.
I didn't even work on a farm.
But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember it shitting itself at all. It had broken its leg, and that's why we had to kill it.
True.
And I'd never fired a gun before, and it was like a rifle with a sight on it. And then the person who owned the farm, he's like, my boss is like, now what you do? I was like, fuck off. Do you know how much Call of Duty I've played? Then just nailed it. I was like, thank you very much. Where's my applause? Like, you know, I was
Don't
like,
worry, I'll chuck it in there.
Thank you.
Chuck it in there. Then I've got questions for about it now. Did you use the site? How close were you? Was the site even necessary?
No, it was probably like about maybe 15 feet away, because you can get too close because it's a cow. You'll just spook it.
Oh,
so
yeah. And then it just literally
it was just like in the tree line. Like it couldn't move very well.
Yeah, so
but he was like explaining, goes, oh, you got to draw like an imaginary cross between its eye and its horn.
Yeah.
And then like shoot. I was like, dude,
to keep
I
it
fucking
humane.
got this.
And and you got it?
Yeah, first time.
Good.
Yeah.
Job. Call of
very
Duty.
satisfying.
And
there you go. That's my satisfying answer. Shooting a cow in the face. That's satisfying.
Yes.
Do you know what I found scary as well? Sorry, slightly off topic, but we
Go ahead.
We then peeled. I say we. I didn't do any of it because I didn't know what to do. But he peeled the skin off because he was gonna.
I did that as well with the goat.
Yeah, so he like hung it up from the tractor,
Yeah.
the bucket in the tractor. Had like chains around its back legs. Skinned it, and as soon as that skin came off, I was like, "Fuck, I'm hungry, man. That looks good. That looks." That looks pretty good because it just
the
looked
most
like
raw you can get
it just
of
looked
meat.
like food.
It's still warm, innit?
It just looked like food, but before with the skin on, it's really horrible. And when he started cutting the skin off, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be so like really, it's going to be horrible."
Yeah, it's
but it wasn't.
interesting.
As soon as it went, I was just like, "Oh man, that looks delicious."
Because you cut like the fat, and it's still like fully intact.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, I thought once you do that, everything just fall out.
Yeah.
But no, there is muscle and stuff.
Everything like holding it together. Yeah, I was the same.
Together. What is one musician you can listen to on repeat?
Jose Gonzalez.
I don't know who that is.
He's coming to Perth actually in May, I think.
Oh, is he funny?
No, he's just my favourite like sort of
Musician?
singer-songwriter.
What type of music?
Like mostly it's just him and a guitar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like he has a song called Cycling Trivialities. I think I listen to it like every day.
Every day. Oh.
And have done for about 20 years.
That's the exact answer for that question. That's the most correct answer you could give him. And then on the other spectrum of that, what is one musician that you are happy to just cut out of your life?
Oh, I don't know, because I don't really listen to anything that I don't like.
Fair.
But I don't like, like real heavy rock music, like heavy metal and stuff.
Like heavy metal.
Yeah. So
just make sure you don't open that door anytime soon. As musicians.
I don't know, like what like AC/DC or those kind of, or Kiss or those kind. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of music is not music to me. So if I could never listen to anything again, it would be stuff like that.
Just never go to a Fremantle Dockers game.
Really, is that what it's like?
Before every game, they play. Oh, is it the Eagles? One of them play. Thunder. Thunder.
So is that in the
Thunderstrike? Yeah.
Is that who's that?
I feel like it's AC/DC, but I feel like fuck it. There's no one who listens to that type of music that will be listening to this. I won't get any hate.
It's I'm sorry, I can't listen to that stuff at all.
I think pretty sure it's AC/DC because they're from Perth.
They are Australian, aren't they?
Because the highway to hell is apparently I'm on the highway.
All right, that
to
song
hell.
I know of. Yeah,
That is based on the road going to Frio. I
thought
believe this is hearsay. Someone said it to me. Don't at me. Don't at me. Yeah.
Do you know what? One of my friends told me ages ago. He's a fan of them anyway, but he told me to give the Beatles a chance because I'm not that guy. The Beatles they're not for me. And I did. I gave them a proper chance. I was like, this fucking sucks. This fucking sucks. You ever do that? Like with really popular stuff?
Yeah.
Where you go like,
why does everyone like this?
Exactly. Like, surely I am wrong. I must be wrong. I'm willing to give it a chance as well.
Yeah.
It's like the very first time I watched Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And everyone told me, well, not everyone, but lots of people it's the greatest show of all time. So I was like, I watched like 3 episodes and I was like, I fucking can't with this. And I messaged my mate and I was like, I watched some Seinfeld and I can't watch any more of it.
Yeah.
And he goes, what did you watch? I went, just season 1, like the first 3 episodes. And
like,
then he goes, see, that's where you went wrong. I went, no, that's where they went wrong. They should have made it good to begin with. Why didn't they make it good to start with? Don't tell me I should have started at season 5, episode 5. Who the fuck does that?
Facts.
Oh my.
It's like, don't watch the first season though. It's like, what do you mean? How am I meant to?
He goes, the first 3 seasons or whatever, they're not as great. I was like, what the fuck? But that was one of those things where that show got so popular because people had like 3 other options at the time.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
what were the other options at that time? Was it like Roseanne?
Probably. I don't know. I wasn't. I mean, I was around, but I wasn't watching TV and stuff at that time. But yeah, I suppose like it would have been those other American like sitcoms, ones that aren't really, in my opinion, funny. I think if you watch them and like them, it's because you like this.
Raymond. Everyone loves Raymond.
Yeah, like stuff like that. You probably really liked that character and maybe the stories and stuff. Because with these British shows that were like that, where I would watch them and go like, I remember back to them as well.
Yeah.
Things like Red Dwarf, stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen that, or Bottom, things like that. They weren't really funny. Yeah, there was a show called Bottom with Rick Mail and someone else. Okay. They weren't particularly funny though. They were just nice to watch.
They were just there.
Yeah, but you go back and watch them now, you go, this isn't funny.
Why did we enjoy this?
Yeah.
They didn't age well.
Brain damage. Yeah, they don't age well. I almost want to bring up another TV show, but I know people will get annoyed about it because
do it. I need some
because somebody
clickbait.
That was part of the cast died recently, so I don't want to badmouth. Yeah, but I've never. But the other thing as well is I've never seen it. I've never watched Friends.
You didn't watch Friends?
Yeah. Or The Big Bang Theory. There's another good example where everyone sort of shits on it.
Yeah.
But it was like super popular as well. So like, which is it? And if I go back and watch Big Bang Theory, am I going to get the same? Like if I start, and then are people going to be like, oh, you can't watch the first 2 seasons? They're not very good. So how did it get to where it got to?
Is this just because you're a writer, so you
no?
Listen to things differently?
I've written sitcoms, but like nothing that's been made and gone to like it's nothing to do. Like I'm talking purely from an enjoyment level. Like I'll sit back and watch it and just be like, fuck, this is So I applaud Seinfeld for making a show about nothing and getting people interested and getting people to enjoy it. Like that show was ask somebody what's it about? Oh, it's about this. True. I mean, so it's like, well, no, because and then that's all you'll get for about 20 minutes. Well, this guy Seinfeld, I know it's about Seinfeld. It's what it's fucking called. Oh,
I've never thought of it that way.
So you weren't a fan of Seinfeld, no?
I wasn't a fan. Like I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But not. I think I probably watched the same like 5 episodes over and over again, but only on like daytime TV.
Oh, okay.
But I do love Friends. We watch that.
Is it funny? Is it like?
I think I've gotten to the point now where it's not funny. It's just comfortable.
Is it like? Is it nostalgia comfortable though? Is it like
I think it's.
Do you watch it and then remember when I first watched it, or whatever, like 5-10 years ago, like I really enjoyed it because there's definitely that, like, you know, with some films you watch, like when people say like Star Wars are the greatest movies ever made, I'm like,
who says that?
Well, a lot of people, but here's the thing: the people that say it are Star Wars fans, that have this element of nostalgia attached to it, and they're just convinced that nothing better. But if you've ever watched those, they're shit. They're shit.
I think I've only watched 3 of them.
Same. I watched like
3.
I watched the older ones, I think, a couple of them, and then I couldn't do that. And then I watched maybe like the Phantom Menace or something. I was like, and this is ass as well. I was like, I can't
even tell you which one that one is. Let's go on a tangent here. Actually, I'm enjoying this.
Sorry, I'm derailing the podcast.
No, mate. This is what I love. The Titanic. Have you seen that?
Okay, so I watched it maybe about a year ago.
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't saying anything. I'm just asking.
You don't need to see it, and I can spoiler alert: the ship goes
The
down.
ship goes out.
It's
There's a door.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten to the point where I've just seen so much about it that I feel like I have seen it, but I haven't seen it. And
that was me with Star Wars, where I was like, I know most of the characters, like names and stuff. I know a lot of the stuff, but I was like, I've never watched one of the movies, so I watched some of them. I was like, not doing this.
This ain't it. What about? Oh, how you feel about How I Met Your Mother?
Again, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch
really.
it, mate? What did you watch?
I don't. I have to admit, American stuff in general is just not really for me.
Yeah, okay. So you're like English.
Like we were saying earlier,
English
with
stuff
American rap, I don't like American rap. I love British rap. I love grime, but I don't like American stuff at all.
Okay.
Same with most comedy and most comedians too. There's some comedians, American comedians, that I really do love.
I agree with that. I think white American comedians, they're not too great. Like some of them are awesome, some of them aren't. But I enjoy like South African, English, and then Black American, and then I can't even name that many Australian comedians.
To be honest, most of the American comedians that I do like are actually black.
Yeah.
Other than Shane Gillis.
I don't even know who that is.
Shane Gillis is great. Shane and like Louis C.K. maybe, but then other than that, it's like
it's black
Rob Chappelle. Like it's.
If I think it's just because I don't know. I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. My favorite question: if you were a professional wrestler, what would your name be?
Probably David the Bum Destroyer Hughes. No, actually, the Bum Hole Destroyer Hughes, because that way no one would fight me, because I'm not a very violent person. Everyone would be like, "Oh, David the Bum Hole Destroyer Hughes wants to fight you." Absolutely not. No fucking way. So that would be how I would avoid.
You'd be the professional wrestler that went the whole career on
with zero fights.
Zero. Yeah. Zero losses. You never lost.
Yeah.
That was good, but you also never won.
But what if I like? Don't I get the win by technicality? If say like you and I were to schedule a fight, and you pulled out because you found out that my name is the Bumhole Destroyer,
you'd have
and
to
you're like not doing it.
You'd have to get me to sign the contract. If we don't sign the contract, then
and you're like, I'll fight David Hughes. He's like, easy.
And then
what's this now?
Yeah, exactly.
His finishing move is what?
Exactly. So yeah, and then I added this one just for you because I really want to talk about it a little bit. I think. Are you a football fan?
So I grew up in Southampton.
Yeah.
And I was a big football fan when I was there.
Yeah.
And then I kind of fell.
You fell over and hit your head, and now you're not.
No, like football's my football and basketball are my two sports, but basketball, cool. I played basketball pretty much all my life until I was about like 22, 23. Then I traveled, and I don't really watch basketball at all anymore. I don't really care for it, but I still stay in tune with football.
Oh, cool.
But like growing up in Southampton, like we were always terrible. And I hated the fact that once I left England and started traveling, they started getting good, and I was like, "Fuck you lot."
Yeah.
It was hard being a Saints fan when I was there, and then there was a period where they were like riding quite high in the table. They were doing really well, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
And then Liverpool started buying all their players.
Yeah. Are you
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Liverpool.
No Man U fans left anymore, is there?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
It's kind of a little bit funny.
It's kind of fucking hilarious, in fact.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
And again, because back when I was in England and I was living in Southampton, especially in school, everyone is either a Saints fan because we're there, or they were Man U fans because they were all glory hunters. That's how that worked.
And now they're in the shit.
Yeah, and now they're like, oh no, I've never been a Man U fan. City. I was always City. I was always Man City.
Wait, so what's that Sir Alex Ferguson tattoo on your chest? Yeah. It's like half your chest. I'm like, no, it's just my grandpa. Yeah,
Oh God, imagine a tattoo of Alex Ferguson's face.
Yeah, but at least it would age the same rate as he does. So you start aging and then getting wrinkly, and then your tattoo would look like him more. Yeah. Because he's also old.
Yeah, he's like 400, isn't he?
That's Arsene Wenger.
This is absolute nonsense.
Surprise is already over. It's not the Hughesy that most of the female population hate.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh. I told people I had spoken to you, and they were like, first of all, they were like, Oh, that's pretty big for you, T. That's pretty quick.
You should have let them carry on thinking it was the good one.
The good one.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're the good one, bro.
Is he? Like,
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what the gauge on him is because he came over here and he did some like shows and stuff. Apparently, I've never seen him do comedy. Right, never seen him do comedy, and I don't know him, but he's killing again. He's had this like resurgence where he's just absolutely killing it.
Because he got new teeth, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so. For the longest time, I know he was like borderline, had like 10 teeth left.
Well, good for him. Because if I was getting money and that was a problem, I'd be like, first thing I'm fixing is my teeth.
Quick flight to Turkey.
Yeah.
Get the new chompers. But yeah, apparently lots of maybe it's just girls my age, around my age, don't really like him. I couldn't gauge why. I didn't ask too many questions.
Oh, okay.
I didn't ask too many questions. I was like, okay.
I always thought he was quite popular. I just figured he was popular with like the older generation.
Yeah, I think it's men, but older men.
Oh, okay.
Mostly, I have no problem with him. I think I don't want to.
Is it his style of comedy? Maybe is his style of comedy not really for girls? Or
I think so. Yeah, because he's very loud, and I love his voice because I love it. I love imitating it. I can't do it now because
I was just about to ask you to
embarrass myself. I will. Because I have to hear it first.
All right, you do the Hughesy impression. I'll do karaoke, and we're
equal. Yeah, we'll do like another like episode 31.5.
You could do karaoke as Hughesy. That would be amazing.
Just sing like I don't know what song I'll do, but but yes, you've also spoken about this. We've touched on notes that I had without even just naturally doing it, so that's pretty easy. The project, great show. And we know you're a writer, and you've told us that you were behind the scenes, which is all good. That's just stuff I had questions about. But
yeah, I haven't done anything in front of the camera.
You haven't done it?
That's not for me.
Wait, so you never do it? Oh, you are pretty nervous now. Now we know.
Yeah, like none of the performative stuff comes natural to me at all.
True.
So
how do you do it then?
I don't know. Again, it's a love thing. So like the art of stand-up is something that I really fucking adore.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I love it. But it doesn't come natural to me to stand on stage and just talk to you like I don't feel comfortable doing it. As soon as I get up there and start speaking and you get that first reaction, because you've done...
Yeah, I've done one.
Oh, you've done one.
We've just done one, yeah.
So like that once they laugh, you can kind of go...
a little bit. I did.
But there's so much of it beforehand. No matter how many... Like I've been doing it for 3 years. I've done... Probably like 6 or 700 gigs probably now at this point, but I still have that doubt every time I go on stage. Are they going to laugh to begin with?
Yeah,
because it's just there. It never goes. Well, for me at least, it never goes away. Maybe if you're like a proper killer, like you'll just go, I've got it. I don't know. I don't know if anyone really does that though. But for me, that whole being up there is hard enough. Like doing it on the screen.
When I see you, I'm gonna be sitting there going like. Trying to see if you're looking nervous.
Watch me or like on Instagram and YouTube as well. Like any of those reels, any of those videos. Like I'm never comfortable. No, I spoke to. She's a writer on the show as well, and she's an excellent fucking comedian, Bron Lewis, and she was telling me. She goes, she goes. If you can just pretend that you're confident, this will go a lot quicker. She was talking about like the whole just career in general. And her career is like skyrocketed. She's on like Have You Been Paying Attention as well at the moment. Like she's on that show. But she's very funny. She's very charismatic. She's very beautiful. She has everything that you need, I think, to be like doing what she's doing. But when she's just like, just pretend you're confident. I was like, I don't know if you know how confidence works. That's not it.
That's what I do.
You just trick yourself into
pretend like I can do anything. It's like that saying of. And I truly believe it. You can walk in anywhere as long as you do it confidently, except for a woman's bathroom. But if you can do it confidently, I reckon you can get in everything. Like people who like sneak into like stadiums and stuff just from wearing a high-vis shirt. Because they just walk in going like, oh.
You mean literally walk in anyway? You're talking like if this wasn't a metaphor for...
No, like literally. It's both. It is like I guess it is a metaphor, but actual literally do it.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon.
I suppose it works both ways, because if you can do it in one regard, you can do it in the other, can't you?
I reckon there's some people who could convince themselves to do something like stand-up, but then not be able to convince themselves to walk into somewhere without paying. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think like because that would be like scary because you'd be like, oh, if they catch me, I'll get this. It's like a whole different ball game of fear. But this one is just like, with like there's no, I guess besides confidence, like you're
to doing stand up, like repercussions. You mean?
Yeah, repercussions. Yeah, besides you having a little blow to your ego.
Yeah, true. How did yours go when you did it? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. So my build up to it was. I was fine. I was like, oh, I've got this up until like maybe like an hour or 2 hours before I was going to go on.
Yeah.
And then I felt nervous as hell. And I was like, fuck. But then once I got on, I was still shitting my pants. And then I started talking and I could still talk, but you could hear it in my voice that I was freaking out.
Okay.
Like I had like a little earthquake in my throat. That's how I describe it.
Could everyone pick that up though? Because
no. So
that tremor that you get in your voice, I feel it when I am on stage.
Yeah.
I hear it when I'm on stage, but no one else apparently can.
Yeah, because
people who know me really well as well will be like, oh, I can't hear any difference.
That's what people said. Like I rewatched it and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Way worse in your head.
Yeah, way worse in my head.
Because
I felt
everything is going off and you feel
Bro, I felt like I was up there for borderline an hour. I felt like even with doing this podcast, I think there's always like loads of quiet points when I'm in it. Like I think we just stop talking for like loads of time. But then when I'm listening to it, it's like, oh,
just
the conversation flowed amazingly, and it's just I'm like weird. But then I also do forget as soon as we walk out of this room, I would have no idea what we spoke about.
Yeah,
it's a crazy phenomenon, and I've heard other podcasters will also say the same thing. For some reason,
I'll admit sometimes like I'll be on someone's show and then I'll get home and I'll be like, I can't. Oh yeah, no, we talked about so and so.
Yeah.
Like I will remember it, but I'll have to kind of like think about it.
Jolt your head.
But I think that's a good thing too, because you can't recall like every conversation that you have, and this isn't orchestrated like that. It's not like we're both sat here with scripts that we've gone over and over and over. So I think it'd be weird if you could just go like, if you could recite it pretty much. Whereas with my material for stage, I can recite that. Like I know that off by heart, obviously. Did you have stuff ready for stage? Like
a little bit. Same thing as I do now. I just had like bullet points. But then I didn't take a piece of paper with me. I just remembered words in my head.
Where did you do it?
At Universal Bar.
Oh, the Universal Bar.
Yeah, I did it with Carl Legacy. He's
for
one
his Fringe one or the
on his Fringe World. Like one of his last shows, I just went on for 5 minutes, but I somehow did 8. Don't know how I did it. But I'll come back. I'll do it again.
I was going to say, if it was Fringe, that would have been like January, February.
Yeah, this year.
It's getting towards being a year since you did it.
Yeah.
And obviously you've had a busy time with the kid and everything, but like you've had no desire to
go do... Before I watched it, because I didn't watch it straight away. I watched it maybe... Like my friend messaged me because I told him about it and he was hyping me up, and then he messaged me saying, oh, did you record it? So I sent it to him, and then when I sent it to him, I rewatched it, and then it made me feel better. But since then, I haven't. I guess I just automatically pretend, like when you're in the shower and you sing songs, I pretend like I'm in a comedy set, and I do like just make up my own stuff, and then go like, oh yeah, I could do this again.
Yeah.
But I just don't know.
Would it help you more not to do bullet points and to have
full
something that's
thing?
more scripted?
I think I would. I'll show you it. I'll give it to you, and then you can watch it.
Yeah,
You can see your thoughts. I don't think that's what the issue was. I don't know what it was. For some reason...
I mean, I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was your first time.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Nobody's good. Nobody's good when they start. Even the people that are pretty decent when they start. A year later, you look back at it and you go, oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. I know 2024, we'll see. Keep it going. I will...
Yeah, do it. Just keep doing it.
Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind.
This is absolute nonsense.
Did you watch that Beckham documentary?
I haven't yet.
It's actually really good.
Everyone says it's great.
It's very good.
Now I've spoken to you, I'm scared that it's not going to be good.
No, it is.
Everyone say.
No, it's. I really liked it. I binged it all in like maybe an evening, I think.
Yeah, I've heard
it was really good.
Amazing. And you get like a new insight into his life and his family and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think like because he was in the limelight for like so long.
Yeah.
When he was younger, and then he kind of like fell out of that, and then everyone just stopped thinking about him, and now he's like 45 or something, 46. He's edging towards 50.
He's still hot.
He is a very fucking good looking dude, isn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So is she, and they're both like.
I don't know what she looks like. If she walked past me, I could not tell you. Oh, that's Victoria Beckham.
Very attractive. They both are.
Yeah?
Both very, very good looking people.
Yeah.
But it's a good. Definitely watch it. It's a really good documentary.
I will eventually.
I remember as well, like when he got sent off and how the country reacted towards him. Like that was a big.
Is that for England? Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I think I watched like the trailer, or no, I watched a Sky Sport interview with him, Roy Keane, Jamie Carragher.
Oh, Gary Neville, is it that one or?
And Gary Neville,
yeah.
And then some lady who I don't know who she is, and they were talking about the documentary. I think they spoke about that.
Okay, yeah, it was a
that
rough
red
time.
card and him getting loads of hate. But
but for like months and months and months. See, when I remember back to it, I just go like, oh yeah, I remember like everybody hated him, and then we forgot about it. But when you watch the documentary, it's like he's very quick to go, no, that's not how it fucking went. You all hated me, and then you hounded me for months and months on end. And you watch it back, go, oh, was it really like that? Fuck. Because he was a kid as well. He was like, just like 22 or something. Like, fuck.
And it's still the same now for football, isn't it?
Yeah.
For
fans are so fickle.
Oh,
That's the thing that
I think English
me
fans are
terrible.
fucking terrible, bro. Like after the Euros where they lost in the penalty shootout, that was ass, and especially because all the players who took him were all like under 21.
Yeah.
And because the bigger guys didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
They bitched out. So, fuck me, bro. But I
and
think
you see them all turn like super racist as well. If it's a black player, it's like, are you serious?
Oh my god, yes,
you're literally just cheering, and you're wearing a Rashford shirt. For fuck's sake.
Fact, exactly.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Facts, bro.
So bad.
But Australia also doesn't care until the team starts winning. That's how Australia's sport is.
Yeah, well,
like
Australia didn't even know what football was until the Matildas started doing well.
Yeah.
Now suddenly it's like, oh no, we've always been huge fans of the sport.
Love the Tillies.
Really?
Love the Tillies, bro.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it is crazy sport.
Not taking anything away from them though, because they have brought so many eyes to
facts to the women's game from Australia. Just
the sport in general, like the sport in general. So anyone who argues now that like, they deserve or they don't deserve to get paid as much and whatever else, like, no, the sport has gone up in popularity like fucking 1,000% everywhere because of them. And
they win the stuff that the men don't do shit. Like when I think it was surprising that the men made it to like they made it to the quarterfinals. And they lost against Argentina.
Okay.
Or France. Argentina. I think it's Argentina.
Let's be honest, they're losing against both of those teams.
It was facts.
This is absolute nonsense.
What do you write for, I guess, like the show, like the project?
So for the project, we basically, there's a team of us, a team of writers, and we research stuff from the last like 24-hour news cycle. And then we put that to producers. Like we pitch the ideas to producers.
Oh, okay.
And then they will say yes or no to whichever ones they want. So it'll be usually there's like 3 of them, and those 3 stories that are big in the news at the moment or in that last day will then write jokes on for the people on the panels to just riff and stuff. But you give them like angles as well. So you give them angles and actual jokes, like full-on jokes. But sometimes it's just like, it might be funny if so-and-so maybe brings this up, and then we cut back to something that we said earlier. And just, so we kind of structure it that way.
Cool. And then I have heard of the Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys. So Trailer Park Boys was like a long-running TV show, a sitcom.
Like a Canadian?
Yeah.
I looked it up. Don't worry. I looked it up.
Well, you did more than I did before I accepted the job. Because they were like, are you a fan of the show? And I was like, fuck yeah. Never seen it. I'd never seen it. And so I did what you did. I looked it up and I was like, I'll just catch up over the weekend. It was like fucking 7 seasons or something.
Yeah.
But I wasn't writing on the actual TV show. What I was doing initially was pitching ideas for the comic books.
Oh, I did see there were some. A comic book for
so we
we
pitched ideas for those, and then they would get animated into because they have an animated series too.
True.
But that was so much fun because that was literally you had to come up with the idea for the whole story yourself, and then once those were approved, you could just go about writing the dialogue and doing all the rest of it. It was a lot of fun because that was probably the first time I'd had that kind of freedom to do all of it,
whatever you wanted,
and had storyboard artists as well that would, you know, I'd send it off, then they'd come back with, hey, it looks like this at the moment, is that cool? I'm like, yeah, that looks amazing. Or most of the time with me, it was like, yeah, that looks amazing, because I'd never seen it before. I'd never...
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I was like, this looks fucking fantastic. I'm so excited. But yeah, no, it was cool. But that was not the actual TV show. It was the cartoons and the comic.
Okay, that explains why I went onto the TV show and tried to search your name.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I think it's was it Devil's Due do the animated stuff, so you have to go onto their stuff.
Onto their stuff. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do it now. I don't need to know. Are there any other shows that you want to go work for?
Yeah, like I'm talking to Taskmaster, and there's a show called it's an Australian show called Thank God You're Here, which I think it's not. I know it's like a it's
in case they're watching, guys. I know what the show is about.
No, I know what the show is, but I was trying to think, like, is it a really old show? I know it. You know, like Pete Rosethorn and people like that used to be on it. Like those older heads were on it for a while. So I think like it took a big break, and now it's come back, and I think they're into like their second or third season of it being back. Okay. And it's like sketch show stuff, and it looks like really fun.
Oh, like Saturday Night Live?
Yeah,
vibes?
that kind of. Yeah, I don't really like that because it's American.
But,
but I like the idea of the show, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, this could be a fun one to be involved with. So I'm talking to them and Taskmaster and a couple of other ones with like Working Dog, which is one of the big Australian production companies here. They have like cheap seats, and have you been paying attention, that stuff?
Yeah, I think I've seen their logo at the end of shows.
Yeah.
Is there
so I wouldn't mind working on those, to be honest.
To be honest, well, this is your pitch.
Yeah.
I'll email it to them.
Hire me immediately. Can't even say immediately.
What did you
Don't
say?
hire me. I went, hire me in production video. Hire me immediately. I know how to speak.
Good thing you don't have to speak. You just have to write.
Yeah, I just have to write. I can spell immediately. I-M-M-M-M-M-M-M. Immediately. See? Hire me.
There's always autocorrect.
That's the thing with autocorrect. No one knows how to spell anymore.
Facts. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I mean,
I do okay.
Obviously we do, but I guarantee, like, if you were to send every text message that you sent today, if you had to handwrite it, I bet you'd come unstuck with a few words. You'd be like, wait, I before E, is it?
English is not my strong point. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah?
I'm a numbers guy.
Not a numbers guy.
Yeah, so my brother is the English guy.
Numbers and me don't work at all.
They don't work?
No.
No?
No, I can count up to like, 8 or something, but after that I get real confused. I've never been good with numbers.
Upside
never been
down
good
6
is
9. And then 1, but with the.
You watch, my son will start passing by with me with numbers and and
what
maths
age?
and stuff.
What age with your son do you think won't be able to come back with like math help from you?
Now. Now.
What's he doing?
And right now. So he goes to a language development center because he has a severe speech delay, but he's past it now.
Okay.
So he goes to mainstream next year, and that is my big concern. I swear to God. He will be 8 next year. My main concern is him bringing home that fucking math shit with letters in it. I'm like, cunt, what is this? I'm not.
I think it's algebra.
Yeah.
Algebra?
Yeah.
Algebra
Shove
guy.
that right up your ass. Fucking hell.
There was that joke. What is X, or what does X equal? And it's like, well, X isn't your X for a reason. So why are you trying to find out what it is? Great. Tell him that. So you've already said you don't want to be in front of a camera, and this is going to lead into a little rant that I have.
Okay.
There's 3 shows that I've always wanted to be on, which is Big Brother, The Amazing Race, and Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll do in Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Maybe karaoke. there is actually a dude who did that in America. He went on there and did that. You know that dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah,
Tequila.
Yeah.
And he did that.
No,
that song.
Really?
It was hilarious because everyone was just like.
But it was hilarious in that sense of like, oh, you don't have any friends that told you should have done this. Was it that? Because you know how many you see them so often. You're like, you need friends. Or you need to tell
You need
people
better
your
friends.
plans. What are you doing on Wednesday? Oh, I'm going to audition for. Whoa, what do you mean you're going to audition? What are you doing? Handstands? No, I'm going to sing. What? You can't say, like if I told my friends that I was going to go sing on Australia's Got Talent or whatever, we're like, we're going to lock you up. You don't do this to yourself. We're going to lock you in a room and yeah.
Well, the only words of the song is the word tequila, but it comes like every 45 seconds. So it just riffs for most of it, and then it goes tequila, and then it just keeps going again.
Is that what he did?
Legit, he just stood there with the microphone in like. I'll send this to you as well.
Please tell me it was an acapella too. Imagine an acapella of
No,
that
it
way. There's
wasn't.
no
It
music.
wasn't
You're just
acapella,
like,
but there was music,
Tequila.
and he was just standing there, and then like he was just looking around like during the log
God.
segment. It was hilarious, bro.
yeah, but I mean, there's a real. Like it gets to the point where what are we laughing at? Because you've got mental problems.
Right. Well, if he wanted to be a social media person, that would have been the right move. I
Yeah,
might
true.
do that actually now.
True.
Just to go apply, to get numbers.
Me and my friend applied for the Hunted, whatever it is.
The hunt. The one
Yeah.
where they dropped you off somewhere in Melbourne and you have to
Yeah.
fuck off. To wherever
And
go
you get like
try.
you have to like survive 3 weeks
Yeah.
with them chasing you.
Yeah, and they're like they showed me like how scary technology is with how much. Did you watch the show?
So it was his idea. He goes, "Would you be interested?" I said, "Absolutely not." I'm not. I've got too much to do, man. I'm not. I have a son that I do actually like seeing as well. 3 weeks away from him is going to be really fucking difficult. Yeah? So he explained the whole thing, and then I watched a couple of episodes, and I had so many questions. Have you seen it?
Yes.
I was like, right,
I saw the whole first season.
How are they doing this with a camera crew on each?
Brother, yes, that's the funny thing, bro.
Where are they? Probably over there with the fucking camera crew and the guy with the sound boom and no.
Bro,
Behave
that's
yourself.
exactly what. So like they would I don't know how much access the government gave them because this is weird. The amount of stuff that
we'll get to that in a second. Go on, yeah.
Hinted that they were using.
Yeah.
So they would just be able to connect to any security camera wherever they were.
Some Jason Bourne shit. I'm like, I don't think so. You haven't got that those kind of resources.
I found it hilarious because you would see the guys who were part of the show, and then you just see a camera crew just like just like behind them trying to.
He's not exactly inconspicuous, man. Like, what the fuck? Now, when this friend of mine, his name's Xavier.
Oh, Xavier.
Susai.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was the one who started talking about it, and it was like, yeah, would you be interested in a reality show? I was like, oh no. And then he explained it to me, and then it did add as well that like the winners get 100 grand. I was like, well, okay, we can't really say no to 50 grand each, but. He goes, they want passwords to all your social media accounts and phones and like financials and stuff. And I was like, no, and no.
Nope.
Like, this is all just one. I'll just say I don't have them. What do you mean? Why do they need my Twitter and my Instagram
they do
and
go
stuff
deep,
on Facebook?
man.
Yeah,
they went deep on that show. They were like looking at the people's bank records and going like, oh, this dude buys a lot of junk food.
Exactly.
You can see it on all of this, so at some point he'll go into a Macca's. Let's keep an eye out on all the Macca's.
But you know what? That's what I'd be doing. I never eat at a Red Rooster, right? Or Chicken Treat or any of those places.
Even more, no one does. There's legitimately a old Western movies, that thing that.
Tumbleweed
going through trick and treats.
Yeah.
And there's another one opening near my house. I think it's a drug scheme, but
this is what I would do. If they said yes to me, I'd be eating there every day. So they see it on my bank records, and then they're hanging out by a chicken treat. The last place in the world you're gonna find me. Like I'm not eating.
Like no way he's there. They give you a bank card, so you don't use your own one this time now. But I don't know why they will need your old stuff then.
I don't know. Well, I mean, probably as you say, spending records and go like, oh, what is this person's habits? But it's like. I'm sorry, this is too much. Like for a reality TV show where I'm fairly fucking sure most of it is predetermined because they want to know all your contacts and the route that you plan on taking.
Yes.
Like, so look, in order to make this a TV show, they need to elaborate. They need to for example, let's say you and I are on the run together, right? And we've got our cameraman. What if you and I split up? Like if we just go our separate ways, because you're allowed to, right? Cameraman's got to follow one of us.
Yeah.
how does
What's the other one
how
guy
do they
doing?
know to make sure that I'm now following the rules? So no, because one of the stipulations in this thing, I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to talk about actually. No, we're just applicants at this point. You must be allowed to talk about it. You must be. But one of the stipulations is that by like I think it's 6 or 7 o'clock at night, you have to be in the place that you're going to settle in. So you're not allowed to move in the evening. Yeah, you're not allowed to move in the evening.
They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that on the show when you're watching it.
So like, I wonder why we can't find him at night time. You don't need to fucking worry, do you? He's asleep somewhere. But they already know your contacts.
Yeah.
So if you've given them a list of your contacts, they're like, oh, it can't be that hard to find you. Because my thing was, are we allowed to sleep on the street or on a beach? Like because if you're allowed to do that, I'll win.
What would you do?
I've been homeless. I'll do it again. It's easy.
Bet.
And now I'm doing it for 100 grand. No, fuck off, man. I'll win this hands down. I'll sleep in a fucking dumpster. Like,
there were points as well during the show. We're talking a lot of shit about the show now.
fuck that shit. No. Do you know what I said to Xavier as well? I goes, they're probably going to pick us because neither of us want to do it now. Sorry, go on. I interrupted you.
Two things now. So there were points in the show where you're like, why are you leaving this house? And then probably now you say they probably got told you can't be in this one place for too long because it needs to be interesting.
It's
interesting for them to watch.
It's every like I think every 48 hours you've got to move.
You got to move.
But again, how do they police that? How do you police? It's got to be the cameraman.
Well, that's the cameraman. Yeah.
So then the cameraman is obviously liaising with the rest of them. So how they can just go, oh yeah, and where exactly is it?
There is a couple of times because it's like during the season they went to like the bumfuck nowhere raw you can't say this word either.
Yeah.
I watched that.
Fucking hell, you went
bit.
deep.
Yeah, I watched that bit. Raw.
That's like my first gig. That was my first ever gig.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I found it. I think shit. I went on YouTube and just after my 3 hours of trying to find your David Hughes account.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't do much on YouTube at all. I put it there just to send to. I do it to send to like promoters if they want or bookers to show them like, oh, here's a couple of clips here if you want to book me.
Hey, just send them a link to this podcast.
Yeah.
They were in bumfuck rural New South Victoria.
Thank you for not making me try to say it. By the way.
No, it's fine. I already watched you do it. I'll put it on the screen now. Even I'll pause us and then
fucking
people
bush
will be
or
listening
whatever
to us. Yeah. That's what you said. In the bush of Victoria.
It's better.
Yeah, and you're like, there's no possible way. These guys have done really well to not get seen, to get hidden, and somehow you found them.
Yeah.
It's the cameraman.
Yeah. Has to be.
Your one fucking loose end in this show is the cameraman. But yeah, people want it. And then the other thing was there was a guy or a lady who was bigger and had like a bum knee. They roasted. They were fucking savages. They legitimately went like, go for him. He can't walk properly. He can't run. Get him. I was like, oh my god. And then they called him or her. I can't remember who they were. And then the other person was just by themselves now.
Okay.
Having like crying, going like, oh my god, he or she was the brain of the operation.
And now they're fucked.
And I'm like, I'm fucked. But yeah, I would also go on that show. I'll add that to my list.
I also think you get like $300. I'm not sure if it's each or.
I think it was each because you get 2 FPOS cards.
Yeah.
And then, but everyone did the same thing, which I thought was smart, was just take all the money out at the beginning.
That's what I would do. I'd take all the money out, and then I'd take Xavier's money out, and I would take that, and then he'd be like, all right, give me my money, and I'd have eaten everything. 3 days in.
You'd be like, if you give me 30 minutes, I can give you your money back.
Yeah, as long as I have access to my own money. Cause so what were yours? Big Brother.
The Amazing Race.
Amazing Race.
And Australia's Got Talent.
What about Big Brother is appealing to you? Is it the fact?
Why? I think I would win it.
Yeah?
I reckon I've got like the right personality for it.
I don't know if you do that, because don't you need to be a psychopath? Isn't that the thing that
Big Brother has?
Yeah, like I haven't watched it in a very, very long time, but I remember the older England ones, it was usually somebody who was like, if you were watching it from the perspective of like, oh, this guy is a prick, he needs to get out of the house, he was the one that they would keep in because he's the more entertaining one.
I reckon, yeah, they do manipulate the votes. They just go like, oh, because they tell them, no, don't talk about the votes.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone who you're voting for.
And they're like
they
playing
probably
each other off.
Yeah, they probably do like touch something up, going like, oh, we can't let this guy leave yet. Keep him in.
Yeah.
I think if I made it to the final 3, I would get Australia's votes, I reckon. But that was my freaking rant about it. The new one, I don't know when it started, but we watched the first episode last night because I do like the show. And they've fucked it up for me. It's now just another version of Love Island. So it's now relation. I don't know what the premise of the show is, if it's still the same, but they've made it into like love.
Yeah.
And like,
I think we've established that I'm like 400 years old. I remember the first Big Brother in England, the first one.
did it originate in English?
To my knowledge, it started in England. But I remember
that's what I'm
watching.
thinking as well. But I also think maybe America. But who cares about?
I actually think if it wasn't England, it was a European country.
There is also I think the one in Spain or Portugal is really big because I have seen, but the one in their one goes off.
Whose one?
Spain or Portugal.
Yeah.
They are so out of pocket on that one. It's crazy. I've just seen like reels of it. I can't describe it to you, but it's crazy.
The reason I mentioned the first English one is because. And this is why I also think it was just the first one, was because it was a really interesting social experiment where no one knew if the people that were in the house, didn't even know if everyone was watching because they didn't know if it was a flop or not.
Oh, was it live then as well?
It was live, yeah.
Oh, I miss it being live.
It was live. They didn't know that they were all like mega stars. They're just in this house doing their thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't know what everyone's reaction. They didn't know how many of us were watching. They didn't know that we were watching round the clock at that point. We were watching them sleep.
Because it was on like, they gave you like its own channel.
It was on Channel 4 and then it was on then it was on E4 and then E4+1.
Yeah.
So like they were just streaming it slightly behind, like a couple of hours behind or whatever. But then there was like night vision cameras on them all sleeping.
I remember that as well.
Doing nothing. And we're like, what the fuck is it? They're not even doing anything.
And you're still watching.
You're still
watching. You're like,
but it was amazing because they didn't know. So that was after that, everyone that went into that house, season 2, 3, 4, they all knew that they were coming out celebrities.
Yeah.
They didn't know that for the first one. So the way that they behaved was really unique. That was the most unique. It's never been like that, and it could never be like that again.
Yeah, because everyone knows.
Because everybody knows it's going to be watched now. But that first cast, they even talked about it at some point in the show. They were like, "Do you reckon anyone actually sort of watched this?" Or whatever? And little did they know, millions and millions of people are watching this constantly, round the clock.
I think now it's not live anymore, and they film it like 2 months premature to when it comes out. Or
really? Okay, I didn't know
that. But they do that with every show now, so they can edit it. Every reality show, so they can.
It makes sense from an entertainment perspective. I get it. You've got to. I mean, they want to construct certain narratives around people as well. Exactly. So edit it to look a certain way.
Exactly.
That's the other thing too. Like you want to go on Big Brother, but how do you know they're not going to make you look
like a dick?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I could do. Even if there was a camera watching me now, of course they would be X-rated. I don't think there's anything that I really do that could get me fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, we're just normal people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're just, what can I do? Cross the road at the wrong time?
No, but I mean, like, in a situation where it's you and all these people that you don't know over a period of however long they film it for. I just think they would eventually have enough stuff to, if they wanted to make you look like a psycho, they could probably make you look like a psycho, even though you didn't behave like one.
Yeah, I could just be standing in the bathroom, just like looking in the mirror, going,
yeah, exactly. And they might just play that same clip of you just standing there like this. But little do they know you just finished brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust them.
True. That's a good point, but I still want to go on it. So Big Brother 2024. Also the whole cast is just hot people.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my face, bro. I was so pissed off watching it, bro. I still watched the whole episode. I probably still keep watching it, but it's so fucking.
I like that you're honest about it.
Yeah. You are listening to
absolute nonsense.
You're a comedian, obviously.
Yeah, in theory.
I'm on your Instagram.
I always consider myself more of a writer than a comedian. But that's only because I've been like writing professionally for like 7 years, 8 years, but doing comedy for like 3, like I said.
Yeah.
So I still feel like a brand new one.
Yeah, you are a little youngin. You're a little toddler in the comedy world.
It's the only time I'm considered young. It's the only time.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help being 500 years old.
Yeah.
So these are the questions that I always like to ask comedians. Pretty much just the whole basic ones. So When did you start? You said 3 years.
Yeah.
I know that now.
On my birthday. Started
Your birthday?
Yeah, my birthday was my first gig.
Why? That's the next question. Why comedy? Why did you start doing it? Why'd you do it?
I did it because we spoke about him earlier, but
Did we?
John Pinder.
Oh, yep.
And
I think you're going to say we spoke about the reason. I was like,
wait,
did we?
What the fuck? I really don't remember anything I talk about in these shows. So he basically strong-armed me into doing it. He'd been following me on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff for a while. And he was like, "You're funny. You should do this." And I was like, "Fucking absolutely not." Put it off for so long, and then he was like, "Right, I am doing my solo show at the Comedy Lounge on September the 17th, which is your fucking birthday. You have to open for me. Like the stars are all aligning." And I was like, "All right then." So that was it. I did it.
And you did it.
Yeah.
How long were you on stage for that first time?
So 5 minutes for his show, and then I opened for Andrew Wolf straight afterwards and did 5 minutes for his show. Just like did a different 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize is not the thing. I just figured, because obviously you do the same 5 minutes, but I figured people might come to both shows, so I don't want them to have to sit through the same shit.
Yeah.
That was my thinking at the time. It's pretty stupid, but
that'll be my thinking as well. I think if I was gonna keep going, I would have done a totally different thing from the first time. I don't know why.
Well, I also figure as well, like, because it was my first, like the jokes that you would have watched on that, the rural thing, like I don't remember any of them. The rural thing was something that happened like at the time because I was trying to say it.
Yeah.
So I said in the bush or whatever it was, but I don't remember the joke around it really, and I haven't done those jokes for like, well, probably since, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of go like, I just need to get better at this, and the only way I'm going to get better, like the first time you try it is not going to be great. The laughs and stuff that you hear on those clips, they're just being nice because they knew it was my birthday. They knew it was my first time. They were a really lovely audience. They were like super forgiving.
Yeah, I think my first time were like, I think there were only like, it was like at the back end of Fringe, and there was only like 20 people. That's
especially if it was this Fringe just gone, because that was rough numbers for a lot of gigs that year.
Yeah, so it was very low, and then like probably 8 of them were my friends.
Okay.
So I got laughs from that, which still made me feel good. But then continue.
What was the question?
I don't know.
5 minutes. I did 5 minutes. So.
Since then, have you had any like, I guess besides the people at the gym now, since we know that, any other crazy interactions?
Not crazy,
with
like
crowd people.
Every now and again, you get people. Like for me, crazy is when people away from a show recognize you, which again doesn't happen a lot. But like, if people are going to comedy from that are going to see you, it's probably going to be the Comedy Lounge, which is always like a really hot night anyway. And like the crowd are always like really, really good. They're always really up for it. It's kind of hard to do badly on those shows because it's just everyone's in the right kind of mood. It's not like
everyone wants to laugh. It's
not like an open mic where people are just sat there going, these cunts. Like, so it's
why are you there?
exactly. But like that, you do think that sometimes you're like, what the fuck are half of these doing here? But none of you look like you want to be here. But anyway, when people will say like, "Oh, we saw you at the Comedy Lounge," it's when it's on the night, you go like, "Oh, well, that's excellent, thank you."
Yeah.
When it's a different day, like I was walking with Andrew Wolf, we were just walking through town, and somebody stopped him to say that they'd seen his solo show and that they'd seen me open for him, and that hadn't happened for like months. Like that's fucking strange. So that stuff that you do stick in people's minds. Obviously, in that case, it was him. They remembered him because he's got a very distinctive voice and face and everything else. But they also remembered that I opened for him, I guess. But it was that stuff that still I find that jarring because I would love to be famous. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, fair.
But I don't know how I would deal with it.
True.
I don't know how comfortable I would be with people just on the street going like, "Oh, we saw you at the fuck off."
Yeah, and people get this sense of entitlement where they'll be like, "Oh, I watched you and I support you, so now I own you," type thing.
Yeah, like one of my co-writers, like writing partners back in England, he's very famous, or at least I guess. I mean, he is famous, but he was very famous at a point. He was on a TV show called Gavin and Stacey, and he was like,
I've heard of that one. Finally, you say something that I know.
So he was the main character. He was Gavin from Gavin and Stacey, right? Yeah. So that was, that was in its prime like 20 years ago. But even still, like when we're home and we are out together, people will stop him and we'll be eating and people be like, "Can I get a picture?" And like he deals with it fine, but I think if that was me, I'd be like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm eating. What's the matter with you?"
You gotta, I don't know how people figure out that line where they're like.
Well, I think for me, it's more of a, I would never do that. It doesn't matter who I saw. like famous person, it doesn't matter who it is, I would never in my wildest dreams go up to somebody who's sat with a friend eating or something and go like, hi, I really liked you in so and so, can I get a photo with you or whatever? Like, fuck is what is that? I don't know.
You're not gonna know I'm there. I'm gonna send my friend over to you one time.
That's the thing though, because again, it doesn't happen very often. Like with me, it would just be people who have been to comedy.
Yeah.
So when it does happen, I never believe it. I always go like, oh, they must be thinking of someone else, or like.
I have to do it now. You're gonna think everyone that you see from now on is someone that I know. Anyone that walks up to you, be like, "To T push up to this?"
Yeah.
This is absolute nonsense.
Let's play Are You a Truther or Are You a Liar? Are you a truther or a liar? We're gonna find out today. The game where we come together and give each other a story, and the other person has to decide or try to figure out if it's true and they're a truther, and if they're lying and they're a liar.
All right, I'll go first.
Give me your opening statement.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
So my story takes place in the Amazon jungle in Peru.
All right. Go ahead. What were you doing there? Why were you there?
I was traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, I traveled for about 5 years when I first left England, just backpacked around the world. And there was one point when I was in the jungle in Peru, and we got this couple of people, these dudes, to build a raft, like a whitewater raft, and we went whitewater rafting through the Amazon jungle. And one of the things that we did was to tie an inner tube, like a big old tire, like inner tube, to the back of the raft, and then it would just kind of like hang back, and then somebody could sit in it, because the river often was like really like just calm and amazing to sit in. Just sit in it, look up, see the trees and stuff was amazing. I was in it at one point, and we were going around a bend in the river, and the inner tube went into a cave with me in it and anchored the raft. So I'm inside this cave, like in the inner tube. And the raft is stuck as well because it's completely anchored. The river's like really aggressive and violent at this point. Okay. And I'm thinking, I probably die in here. Like, this is probably how I die. Do I cut the rope? Do I try and like get rid of the rope from the tube so that they can at least go? But then I'm like going to be getting smashed around.
You'll be stuck in this cave.
Yeah, in this cave.
Okay.
Anyway, one of the guys who built the raft, he dived into the water, swam in, got me loose, like unhooked the tube, and the thing flew out, and he stayed in there, and he never came out. So it was me, my friend Kevin that I was with at the time, and then the other person who built the raft, and that dude like never came out. Okay.
So he got you out of there. And then
he got me out of there, but he didn't.
With the tire, with the inner tube.
Yeah, I was in the inner tube. Is it big old like black inner tube from like I don't know what it was from, like a truck wheel or some weird thing like that. But it was huge. Yeah. Which is why it can anchor us.
Okay. Is it the Amazon River?
Yeah.
The Amazon's pretty dangerous, isn't it?
It was the Peruvian base.
Peruvian part of it. Okay. I'm not really good at my South American geography. So
if I remember correctly, we left a place called Rurenebeck. Don't think that's how you pronounce it, though.
He sounds like some sort of football player.
I think it was Rurenebeck.
Rurenebeck scores the goal! Rurenebeck!
We either left from there or we were going there. I can't remember. But
okay.
They build the raft. Like, they have these sustainable trees that they cut down, and then they say they're sustainable, probably so that we don't feel bad about it. And then they build the raft out of those. And it was an impressive raft.
In front of you?
Nah, we went away and they did it like over the course of about 2 days.
Oh, okay.
So we were staying.
How much did this cost you?
I can't remember. Everything is so fucking cheap though. Yeah, so like we would have paid either in Peruvian soles or in American dollars. Okay. And if it was American dollars, I reckon it probably would have cost maybe like $200.
200. Okay, for an experience.
And that would have been for them to come with us as well, to take us to the next town, which we were on the river probably for about a week until that happened, and then I think it was about 3 or 4 days before we got to the next place.
Oh shit!
Of like civilization, yeah.
So it's like a 10-day journey from this.
Sounds about place. Right, yeah.
Did you guys dock to sleep or just?
Yeah. We just stop in like these little beaches and reservoirs and stuff a lot.
Okay. All right.
Am I telling you the truth?
Yeah.
Or am I lying?
That is the question. See, the issue is the Amazon is very dangerous. But I don't know what part of the Amazon River these I know it's very piranha infested. Did you know there was piranhas in the?
Completely unrelated story, but there was another point, not with this, like white water rafting, essentially white water rafting. There was another point where I think it was the Bolivian basin where we, part of this like tour group, and we get to a point in the river, and I'm the only person who doesn't jump in and swim around because I was worried about that fish that swims up your dick hole.
Oh yes.
I was like,
yeah. Yes.
Everyone's like, it's the Amazon. It's a once in a lifetime. It's like, right, first of all, it's not once in a lifetime. It's like the 4th time I've been here this year. You can behave yourself. Secondly, I'm not getting a fish swimming up my dick hole. That is not fucking happening to me. Do you understand? These people are swimming around and they love it. I'm still on the boat. So whatever. Anyway, next day, I swear to God, next day we go back to that point, but then about 200 or 300 meters up, we carry on going, and that's where we fish for fucking piranhas for dinner. And do you know how you fish for piranhas? Just the tiniest bit of chicken skin.
Yeah.
We were using chicken skin, and they bite so quickly. So
how do you catch it?
So they made like just the rudimentary like hand lines,
yeah,
with a little hook on the end of it, and then they bite it. You take it off. You have to be very careful taking the thing out of their mouth.
For sure, yeah.
Because those teeth are insane. These were like pink ones. They're about this big, but there's not a lot of meat on them, so you had to catch like 20 of them just to be fed, basically. Do you know what? They taste good.
To get sustenance.
They taste so good. And I was like, do they taste good because they've eaten so many people?
Oh, I was going to say, do they taste good because you had to risk your life
to
get them?
There was no risk there, but I remember, you guys were swimming over there yesterday. Do you remember? Fuck. Sorry, massive tangent there, but yeah.
It wasn't even that much of a tangent.
Fucking piranhas.
It's kind of just like a little parallel street that was next to it. Yeah. Okay, this guy disappeared.
No, he died.
How do you know he died?
Because there's no coming out of that cave.
You don't know, like maybe he just came out at the end.
Well, plus we left. We went to the
you guys
next
would
town.
have
Like,
how long between when you came out to when you guys were like, oh, let's go?
It's not let's go. The river was carrying us.
Oh,
and it's so aggressive. Like, you can't stay. Even if you want to. Even if we're like, right, let's go. You can't paddle anywhere. It's such an aggressive part of the river.
Disappeared.
And plus it's on a bend too. So if you know anything about rivers and whitewater rafting, that bend makes it even more aggressive and more dangerous. And the fact that it's a cave just means that nothing is coming out of there.
Oh, okay.
I came out because I was attached to the fucking raft.
Yeah,
and an inflatable.
This guy gave his life for you to live.
Yeah.
Thank God you've lived it to the fullest, eh? You've lived your life for 2 people.
Yeah, I hope so. I've not really thought about that.
You're just getting
Single tear rolled down his cheek, and I knew he was telling the truth.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna lock in my final answer of you are. You're a truther.
No, I made it up.
Dang, flapping.
Everything is true, except the guy did actually swim back out.
That was the big point.
That was the big point. I was like, because here's the thing, right? I thought about that story because when you mentioned it, I was like, oh, that's a pretty interesting story.
But you were like, if he survives.
Yeah, I was like, if he survives, that's boring. I'm gonna kill him off. No, he made it. He was a freak of nature as well. Because there was another time. Because you think about everything that I just said is true, right? And how amazing it was for him to swim in and fucking swim out. But there was another time when they lost one of the oars, and he swam upstream. He went down and got it, and then swam back upstream to the fucking raft.
The Peruvian Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he's a freak.
God damn.
Jacked as well, like jacked. It's funny because the other dude wasn't. And we all suddenly felt way safer with him. And the other dude got sunburned as well. And they're Peruvians. Like, they are dark-skinned people.
Anyway, yeah.
I was like, how are you getting sunburned? He's not. And like, why is he, like, built like the best human being that anyone could possibly want to look like?
Peruvian Thor.
Yeah. And you look like you've never moved. Anyway. All right, give me a story.
My brother's bicycle was stolen. And we, I guess, went to find it. So... context: we lived in New Zealand. There was our street, which is here, and then parallel to it was this other street. This other street was known in our neighborhood as, I guess, quote.
I'm sorry, there's no way two streets run parallel. Bullshit. I'm kidding.
Wow.
You're a liar. Streets don't work like that. No,
It was the street which was in the neighborhood known as the bad street. Like, it was just like a street that none of us were brave enough to walk down it because it was just too risky, as you say. So we were swimming in our next door neighbor's swimming pool. My brother left his bike like in the driveway, and then my bike, all of our bikes were there. No, my bike was further up. No. Yeah, my bike was further up because I was like, I'm not leaving it on the street, but he was an idiot and left it there. And then we were swimming, came out, bike was gone. After some hunting, we found like this kid. I guess I think it was like maybe a couple of weeks later, this kid came to us and said, are you guys missing a bike? All right, mystical, right? He came to us and said, "Are you guys missing a bike?" And then we was like, "Yeah." It's like my little brother's bike. And he was like, "Yeah, I know who took it. I know where it is." And he's like, "But it's gone. Like pretty much, they've like taken the bike apart. I can tell you who took it." So my dad pretty much, we went with him, and the kid showed us the house of where the guy lives. So we went to the dude's house. My dad knocked on the door, and then spoke to the other dad's father.
So how old were you? Like,
like
kids.
Like, so maybe like 10.
Okay, yeah.
So my brother was 8.
All right.
Or maybe a little bit younger than that. Because his bike wasn't very big. I remember it. I'm pretty sure he still has training wheels on it. So maybe, yeah, around then. Where was I?
Your dad knocked on the door.
We knocked on the
kid
door.
who took it.
So the street was bad because I guess New Zealand has like a really bad like gang issue.
Right. Yeah.
So the street was full of like gang members and stuff
Bike
like that.
thieves.
And bike thieves. Well, the kids were the bike thieves. They were still trying to get their stripes, I guess.
Okay.
And then my dad spoke to the guy's dad, and he made them apologize to us for taking the bike. Or, I don't know if my dad did it with the dude's dad, so they apologized to us. The issue with it was our house is here on this street. They live here parallel, and then the next parallel street back is our school. So every single day we had to walk past that street and gets to school with always the fear of they know what we look like, so now and we're black, so we're very distinguished.
Did they know that you lived there as well?
Where?
Behind them?
Yeah, well, I guess they stole the bike from
Oh,
that
because
area.
the bikes were at that house.
Not our house, our neighbour's house.
Yeah, okay, but they didn't know where your house was.
They
So
know exactly where we were.
but they knew that you lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because again, it's my neighbour's house, not our house. We don't have a pool. We never had a pool. Yeah. Do any more information? Like,
no, I think so the kids those kids went to your school as well.
No, so they went to like another school.
Okay.
We went to I guess like a private school.
Yeah.
They went to like, I don't know what school they went to.
Public shitty school. Fuck those motherfuckers.
Probably, yeah.
I'm torn. I think it's a true story because of the way that you remembered some of the maybe that you were remembering something.
Yeah,
because you were I know, but then the details about the training wheel on the bike, I was like, oh, he's lying. But I'm gonna go with it's the truth.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's the way you told it. You told it like somebody who was remembering something, not making something up as they went along.
I was trying to do too much.
But then there was that point where you said like, oh, I think we were like 8 or 10 because he had the training wheels on. I can picture it, and I was like, oh, hang on a second. This is too much.
I thought that might have given away.
Yeah, I was like,
I can picture it.
This is
but
too
I was
much.
like, we're kids. Everyone had a bike.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's true. They got stolen. I still kind of remember what the kid looks like.
One day you're gonna come across him again.
I'm not.
You're gonna murder him.
There's a very high chance he's in jail. They were not on a good path.
This is
Absolute nonsense.
That is our time, man.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
That is A-okay. That is A-okay. Make sure you tell all your friends.
I will.
This is the part that I like to say. Look at the camera. Tell anyone whatever you want them to know about you, or where they can find your shows.
I am around actually I'm in Brisbane next week doing gigs, and then I'll be back doing them here in beautiful Perth. You can find me on David Hughes everywhere, Twitter and Instagram and whatever else is fucking about. Threads? No one uses Threads. Fucking hell, that was
I
such
don't
a
know which one's Instagram's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
died on its ass.
Yeah. Didn't really lift off.
It was never going to.
Never. It's
funny because
but now Elon Musk is kind of just committing suicide with X anyway. So Threads might pop off.
Started. Yeah.
Now anyway. So, but yeah.
I think that's what everyone's plan was. But anyway.
Yeah. That's all.
That's pretty much it for me. I'm a simple man.
If you want to find him, make sure you don't Google search him because you won't find him.
Unless you do David Hughes, I think that's the best way.
What's the 8 for?
It was actually for Kobe Bryant, but when I it's like I said, I used to play basketball, so I always wore a number 8 as well.
Kobe.
And he was just my hero. The only death of a celebrity that actually bothered me.
You're gonna be like the only black guy I like.
Fucking hell!
That was what my head jumped to.
So from that whole conversation, is that the one thing? Like, this dude probably doesn't like black people unless it's Kobe Bryant. Fucking hell!
I don't know. That's what I automatically jumped to. But yeah, he was also on my list of people that hit me when he died. Him and Paul Walker from Fast and Furious.
Oh, I never watched those movies.
No.
No.
Sorry, I'm just crying because I laugh.
I thought you were crying because of Kobe Bryant.
That too, I guess.
It was a sad time.
That's what I'm hiding it with.
It was a sad time.
Yeah, it was.
Was he the only black person you liked?
Yeah, I barely even like myself, to be honest. So I would say yes to that. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, follow. Before we go, actually, those 2 reels that in the last episode I asked to get to 1 million views, or one of them, they fucking both got to 1 million views. It's awesome.
I think it's the accent one for Jason Wood is like 1.2 or 1.3 now. It's crazy.
This guy's done. He's stalking me now. Apparently.
I was watching them.
He's the one that got them to 1.2.
Very impressive. Yeah, I watched them 1.2 million times.
Just and then the other one with Chief Kosa, where that one was just. I think we might have to keep saying controversial shit in that one because that one. The algorithm loves when people argue. So argue in the comments and all the videos.
It's true. It's true. Comment section just goes off. Suddenly there's like 1,000 comments. And there's people going, fuck you, no, just fuck you.
Arguing, bro. But I think I probably could have got something from this one that might start an argument. So we might keep that going. But yeah, guys, thank you. What I say at the end of every single episode. Do you have any final words?
No, just whatever he's about to say that's really controversial wasn't my fault. It's all him.
Oh, no. We've already said it. I might just...
Oh, it's going to be the Friends, How I Met Your Mother shit,
probably,
isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. That's a good point. Peace. No, peace. Fuck. That's not what I say. Toodaloo. Yeah, that'll probably be it.